Hey guys, I compiled a list of the strongest augments I think you could get in the set so far. In this video, I'm going to go through each of these augments and explain to you a little more in depth on how to play them. So the first augment I'm going to talk about is Hyper Roll. It's not super obvious why this augment is broken as hell. So at stage 2-1, you usually push level 4 and you're going to be at 0 gold, so you get plus 0. 2-4, you go 5, you get 10 gold, so it's plus 1. 3-2, you go 6, 20 gold, plus 2. 4-1, level 7, you're going to be at 30, plus 3, and 5-2, level 8, you're probably going to be at 40 gold, so you get plus 4. If you take Hyper Roll, you could level a little bit more aggressively, and instead you could go stage 2-1, level 4, 0 gold, plus 2, 2-2, 0 gold, plus 2, 2-4 or 2-5, level 6, 0 gold, plus 2, 3-2, level 7, and at stage 4-2, you could just push level 8, all in all your money and donkey roll until you stabilize. So why is this broken? If you compare the two leveling patterns, you're always going to be one level up compared to the entire lobby if you're leveling like this in Hyper Roll. And even though you're aggressively leveling and you're going to be one level up, you're still going to be making 2 gold every single turn, even though you're at 0 gold. So for example, if you look at the Hyper Roll leveling pattern at stage 2-4 and 2-5, you're level 6 with 0 gold and you're making 2 gold. But at stage 2-4, the entire lobby is going to be level 5 with 10 gold and making less money than you. So not only are you higher level than the entire lobby, but you're going to be econing even harder than them. So econ harder than lobby up until stage 3-2. And because you benefit from staying below 10 gold, it lets you hold every single unit you get in the shop. And why is this good? This enables you to always play your strongest board because this lets you hold random pairs you get, like pair Katarina, pair Talon. And if you hit the Katarina or Talon, you're just going to play it because it's your strongest board. When you donkey roll at stage 4-2, you generate passive 2 gold every single turn, which is basically like a free trade sector because 2 gold is the same as 1 roll. So you basically get 2 rolls every turn until you stabilize at level 8. And once you stabilize, only then can you econ back up to 50 gold to push level 9. And by this point, you're going to be so much more healthy than the entire lobby that it's basically a guaranteed top 2 from this point. So PHONY frontline is super strong throughout the entire game. So one of the reasons why Hyper Roll was strong was because you basically have an entire unit above your opponent for the entire game. PHONY frontline is similar in that aspect because early game you basically have 1000 extra HP than the opponent's team. So if you take PHONY frontline, you can fast 8 pretty easily and stay pretty healthy and just convert your board into a standard level 8 board and probably top 4. One thing to note is that PHONY frontline is better in certain comps than others. For example, if you're playing like Jinx Urgot, you're probably already running 4 bruisers and the extra HP of the target dummies isn't as beneficial because your frontline is usually already tanky enough, but this augment benefits certain comps a lot more. The Yone comps tend to lack in the tank aspects. PHONY frontline is a very good augment to take if you're playing towards that comp. So Pandora's items, this one is pretty self-explanatory. If you have a crappy item on your bench, you could just re-roll it until you get the item you want. Taking this augment basically guarantees that you have perfect items on every single one of your units. So Mercenary Heart, how you play it is if you get Mercenary Heart, you only need 2 of the other Mercenary units to hit 3. Alawi is a 1 cost unit, so you're pretty much guaranteed. If you get Alawi and you have Mercenary Heart opener, pre-level at stage 1-4, and pray to God you hit Quinn, MF, or Gangplank. If you hit Quinn, MF, or Gangplank at the 2-1 shop, you're guaranteed top 2. So how you play it from this spot is you just play your 3 mercenaries. And there's 2 different ways you can play this. The first way is to lose streak while saving HP. You basically lose streak all the way until stage 3-2. If you get 5 mercs, you could play it. But generally, you need to go level 7 on stage 4-1 and roll down to cash out and play 5 mercs. Don't be afraid to roll down to 0 gold to cash out, otherwise you might just die. Once you cash out at level 7, you're going to be a lot stronger than the entire lobby because your cash out is probably going to give you a lot of Nikos or a lot more items, a lot of gold, or a lot of 5 cost units. And usually with those units, you could commit to playing 5 mercs and win as much as possible to farm items. Late game level 8, just switch to a standard legendary or fast 8 board and play for top 2. So the other way to play mercenaries is win streak mercenaries. The good thing about mercenaries is you actually don't need to commit to a lose streak because you get rewards as long as you get 1 win. Even if you lose win, you're going to econ a lot harder than the entire lobby. So think of mercenary as just a free source of income. And using this income, you could just power level and have one unit above the entire lobby at all stages of the game. And if you're high rolling, win streaking, could play 5 mercenaries and farm items. If not, you can easily switch out of 3 mercs at 4-1, play standard, and have 30 to 40 gold plus items up on the entire lobby. And from there, you just play standard. So some general tips: if you get the merc augment and you're only missing Quinn, you can roll at 3-2 for 5 mercs. If missing GP or MF, you can level to 7 at 3-5 and go for 5 mercs. If stacking Gangplank, you can play Blitzcrank and put it next to GP, so GP guarantees a kill on the unit to farm 1 gold. If you're playing Loose Streak, position your board so that all units focus fire 1 unit to save HP. So Innovator Heart, if you have no innovators when you start off the game and you get this augment, it's pretty bad, and if you take this, you're probably bot 4ing. But if you already have 2 innovators, like a 2-star Ezreal and a 2-star Singe, this augment is super strong because 3 innovators is one of the most broken early game openers you could possibly get. And the other reason why this is really strong is because it makes your mid game super smooth, because the 5 earliest innovators you could get are Ezreal, Singed, Zillion, Heimerdinger, and Seraphine. But if you get Innovator Heart, you could just get Heimerdinger and you could already get 5 innovators, and that's a free fast 8. At level 8, if you have this augment, you could roll down. If you hit Jace, you could play 7 innovators. Otherwise, you could just play a standard level 8 board if you don't hit Jace. So if you hit Jace, your board might end up looking something like this. You solo frontline your dragon and you could carry your Jin and your Misfortune or Heimer. You put all your tank items on your Jace and Singed, and you solo frontline your dragon. You could also not play 2 snipers and instead put all your AD items on your Jace and backline him, and then solo frontline your dragon. And from this point, the moment you hit 7 innovators, you're stable at level 8. You could just go 9 and play for top 2. So Mutant Heart. Usually this is pretty bad, but it's good if you get a Cho'Gath or a Malzahar opener and the mutant trait is either the Elderwood one or the Darkstar one. From that point, if I have an opener like that and I have this, I'm just going to be taking this augment and committing towards mutants, because this will enable you to get 3 mutants at stage 2-1 and 5 mutants very early at something like stage 3. And because you hit 5 mutants super early, you're going to be super healthy by the time you hit level 8, and it's basically a guaranteed top 4. Built Different requires a completely different playstyle. Basically how it works is all your units that don't have any traits active gain a crap load of extra stats. So for example, usually Blitzcrank is a very good unit because it's scrap, bodyguard, and protector. But if you take Built Different, Blitzcrank is a terrible unit because this basically prevents you from playing another scrap unit, another bodyguard, or another protector. But if you take a unit like Camille is really good because it only has 2 traits, and Clockwork is not a very popular trait that other units have, but this will prevent you from playing another challenger. Another good unit is probably Alawi. It's another 2-trait unit. Basically, if you take Built Different, early game, just play all the 2-star units you get and look for units that only have 2 traits. So your board might look something like this. And then at level 8, pivot your whole board into a standard level 8 board with normal synergies. Because by that point, because you took Built Different 1, you're going to be so healthy compared to the rest of the lobby that even though you're playing down an augment, it's a guaranteed top 4. So it's time for me to talk about the strongest tier 2 augments. One of the really good tier 2 augments is Binary Airdrop. So when I get Binary Airdrop, one trait I really like playing is Scrap. So say you have an Innovator opener with Ezreal plus 2 Innovators and you play something like Trundle for Scrap. If you have a Runans plus Bow start on Ezreal, the Bow could become John Slayer from Scrap. And Binary Airdrop randomly generates a 3rd item, like IE. So basically, if you have an opener like this and you have Binary Airdrop, you already have 3 full items. And this basically lets you win streak really easily all the way until level 8. And even better, if you play 4 scrap, you could do the exact same thing on your 3 other scrap units and completely outvalue the entire lobby. So generally, Binary Airdrop, you just play scrap early and mid game. That's what I like to do, and then go fast 8. And then once you're level 8, you spread out all your units so that each of your units or main carries have 2 items only. So on average, you're going to have 1.5 full item components on the entire lobby in your fights, which pretty much is a guaranteed top 4. So Built Different 2, it's literally the exact same thing as Built Different 1. The difference is because Built Different 2 is so much stronger than Built Different 1, you actually don't need to transition into a standard level 8 board at level 8. Instead, you could just keep playing your Built Different board until the end of the game. If you play Built Different 2, you benefit a lot from playing duplicate units. So for example, if you have two 2-star bombs, generally you're playing both of them because duplicate units don't give you any traits. Some really good endgame carries for Built Different is Kaisa and Jinx. This augment is really strong early. The moment you see this, just take it. Mid game, it's not as good because you're already committed to a board that is playing traits. Late game, it is definitely not as good because you're already losing all your value from win streaking early. So this is only really good early game. So trade sector, I think it's kind of obvious as to why it's good, but I think a lot of players aren't aware of the other way to play it. I think the super obvious way of playing trade sector is to play a reroll comp because you get a free shot refresh every round. You basically get a way easier chance of hitting your 3-star units. So for example, protectors, reroll Garen, Katarina, Blitz, Kassadin, Graves. Assassins would be Katarina, Echo, Shaco. Arcanist would be Vex and Malzahar. Mutant, if Elderwood or Darkstar trait, reroll Cho'Gath and Malzahar. Imperials, reroll Swain and Samira. The other way you could play it is to not play reroll comp and instead just play fast 8. And in this way of playing, because you get twice the amount of shops as the rest of the lobby, you benefit a lot from holding pairs. The reason you benefit a lot from holding pairs is because you get twice the number of shops. It's super likely for you to hit your pairs and you're going to have a stronger board than the entire lobby most of the time. The other tip you want to keep in mind is super beneficial to power level. So for example, generally you never want to go level 8 at 4-2 with 0 gold because you need to econ harder to have a higher number of rolls to hit your 2-star 4 costs. The difference is if you have trade sector, if you go level 8 at stage 4-2, because you get 2 rolls every single turn for free, it basically completely offsets the number of extra rolls you get if you just econned up. And the difference is if you went to level 8 at 4-2 with 0 gold, even though you get the same number of level 8 shops as if you just econned, you're gonna have a whole entire unit on the entire lobby, saving you a lot of HP. In general, trade sector, you benefit a lot more from leveling early because you get twice the number of higher level shops. So Rich Get Richer is another really strong early game augment, not because of the interest increase to 7. This is generally not worth it. It's because of the 10 gold you get super early and you could use it to power level. So if you get this, just forget about this 7 interest thing and just follow the standard aggressive leveling pattern like I told you before. Rich Get Richer leveling pattern, 2-1, go level 4, 2-2, level 5, 2-4, or 2-5, level 6, 3-2, 3-3, level 7, 4-2, go level 8, and roll for your level 8 board. And because you had a whole unit over the entire lobby for the entire game, at stage 4-2, you're going to be level 8, and you're going to have 80 or 90 HP, and it's basically guaranteed top 3. So high-end shopping, this augment is very good if you get it later, but not really good early game. The reason why is early game, you generally want to play around 1-star units and not higher cost units because 1, it's way easier to 2-star your 1-cost units and taking a high-end shopping is going to grief you from doing that. And 2, you generally don't want to play higher cost units because it griefs your econ for later because econ is way more valuable earlier than later. But if you get high-end shopping right before your level 8 roll down, say you had 60 gold and you're about to roll down level 8, you instantly win the game because you automatically have access to a level 9 shop. It's like you have 60 gold to roll at level 9, and if you have that much money to go level 9, you pretty much already won. You just go for a Yuumi 2, Jace 2, Jinx 2, or whatever comp you're playing, 2-star your entire legendary board and win the game. So Junkyard, again, super good if you get it early, but not very good if you get it mid to late game. It's really good early because you have the most possible rounds to generate your items. And if you get it early, you're going to be able to generate 5 to 6 full items by the end of the game. And usually if you're that ahead in items compared to your lobby, it's a free top 2. I think if you get this augment, the best opener you could play is the 3 Innovator opener with Ezreal carry plus 1 scrap unit. And you want to play towards a late game comp that also plays 2 scrap as well. There's 2 comps that come to mind when I'm thinking about 2 scrap. The first comp that comes to mind is the Urgot comp. You basically play Janna and Jinx as your 2 scrap units. And the other comp that comes to mind is going to be 6 Arcanists. So your 2 scrap units will be Janna plus Ziggs. And these 2 comps will be able to generate you items for the rest of the game. So March of Progress, it's pretty good if you get it early game, but pretty bad if you get it mid to late game. If you're able to get it early game, I think you're going to hit level 7 at stage 4-1 along with the entire lobby, but you're going to hit level 8 a few rounds later than the rest of the lobby. The good thing about this is you're going to get around 100 to 200 extra gold to roll down at level 7. And if you're rolling down at level 7, generally you want to be playing around 3 cost units. So if you take March of Progress, you could just econ really hard until you get to level 7, and then roll down all your money to play around a comp that revolves around a 3-star 3 cost unit. So some notable units you can play around are 3-star Malzahar, 3-star Cho'Gath, 3-star Vex, 3-star Samira, 3-star Shaco, 3-star Echo. Whenever you take this, always think about what comp you could play that revolves around a 3 cost unit. Clear Mind. This one is kind of tricky to play. Basically how it works is if you have no units on your bench, you gain 3 extra EXP points per round. So this is really good if you get it early, but again, not as good if you get it mid to late game. But if you take Clear Mind, you get to power level just like all the previous augments. So for example, just take this standard rich get richer leveling pattern and literally copy it and follow this. Clear Mind is super good if you already have an established frontline at stage 1-2. Like say for example, you hit a 2-star Alawi, you're in a super good spot because since you're power leveling, you're going to have 1 extra unit on the entire lobby and you're going to win most of the fights and you're going to hit level 8 at stage 4-2. The only thing that's concerning is if you take Clear Mind and all your board is 1-star, you might end up losing a lot of your fights even if you have an extra unit on the entire lobby. One way you could try and 2-star your board is, let's say there's a Trundle pair in your shop. You literally just play 2 Trundles and hope you hit a Trundle in your next shop to 2-star your Trundle. Otherwise, just try and go fast 8 by stage 4-2, and by that time just roll down for your level 8 board and ignore the Clear Mind value until you're stable. So the tier 3 augments are a little more obvious as to why they're good, so I'm not going to go too in-depth into them. The first one is Windfall. It is insane if you get it early, but still pretty good if you get it mid to late game. What it does is you get 20 gold early, which is twice as good as Rich Get Richer. So again, if you get so much gold early, just aggressively level, go 4-2 by level 8, and then because you're a whole unit on the entire lobby, it's basically a guaranteed top 2 or top 3. Band of these is super good. You basically get 2 Thieves Gloves, which are really strong, and they scale really well into late game. New Recruit. The exact same reason why Windfall and Rich Get Richer is good, it's because you have a whole unit on the entire lobby, so New Recruit is good. Golden Ticket, it's super similar to Trade Sector, but I think it's actually a little better if you do the math. You basically get a lot more rolls. So in general, if you get Golden Ticket, like I was talking about Trade Sector before, super beneficial to play a reroll comp. If you're going fast 8, it's also super beneficial to power level to get better shots, and it's also super beneficial to hold pairs because you have a way higher chance of hitting them as opposed to if you didn't have Golden Ticket. So level up, again, similar to Windfall and Rich Get Richer, because you get extra EXP every time you buy EXP, you just aggressively level and go 4-2 by level 8, and it's free top 2 or top 3. Build Different 3, it's literally the exact same as Build Different 2. You just play no traits to go on a 10 win streak, fast 8, and then play a full legendary board with no traits, playing around Jinx and Kai'Sa. I think Mercenary Soul is actually the strongest out of all of these. You basically get 3 mercenaries at 2-1 if you hit an Alawi, and the moment you get 3 mercenaries at 2-1, it's already a guaranteed top 2 or top 3. But because you get 2 additional mercenaries, you could hit 5 mercenaries by the time you're stage 2-5 if you're lucky. And usually if you don't, you're guaranteed 5 mercs at 3-1. And if you get 5 mercs that early, you just play how I told you before with the 3 merc opener, and you're guaranteed top 2. Finally, if the other 2 augment choices are bad, these are all pretty solid choices for all augment tiers. So these are Celestial Blessing, Knife's Edge, Exiles, Thrill, Weak Spot, Item Grab, Makeshift Armor, and Cybernetic. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and comment down below. I'm going to be releasing more videos probably next week, so if you're interested, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys next time.